Welcome to another episode of Head to Head Sports. I'm your host, Brian Parker, along with my host, Mr. Randall Hargrove. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. You got a heavy echo going on.
I know I just turned it off. I don't know
Oh,
how
there
that
you go.
I don't know how that button got hit.
Sound like you're in the Grand Canyon.
I know. It's like I don't know, man. All right, everybody. Seems like I fixed the echo. All right, yeah. I don't know. I wish I could blame it on having kids, but I don't have none of them problems. So I don't know how that got messed up. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little discombobulated, so y'all bear with me. My I don't know what's been going on the last couple of weeks on Facebook. The every time I put this show down for a pre-show, as soon as I start the show, Facebook kicks me out and says that I violated their terms, their community standards, or some mess, and they removed the show off of Facebook, off of Parker Media Network channel and my personal Facebook page. So the first 5 minutes, as the countdown is going on, I'm then having to do a mad scramble to go into Facebook, do a dispute to dispute their claim that there is no nudity or sexual activity in the video.
Ridiculous.
Once I do that, within 45 seconds to a minute, they reinstate both, but then I have to go back into my streaming service and re-add both of those channels to the multi-stream. And multi-stream means that we are streaming the show live. You may be watching it on Facebook, maybe watching it on my personal Facebook, maybe watching it on the Parker Media Network Facebook, but then it also streams on YouTube, Instagram, as well as Roku TV, all at the same time. So I have to literally go back in and re-add both Facebooks, which it did confirm that they are both now re-airing. So that's the good part. But the crazy part is I have to keep doing this every freaking week. And it's been like that for the last month or so. I just don't know what's going on, to be honest with
Yeah, Facebook is getting ridiculous.
you. You know what? I'm almost at the point where I'm just about to say, you know what? If y'all want to keep doing that, you know, to hell with you. I'll figure something else out. We'll grow it on YouTube. Oops, we'll grow it on YouTube and be done with it. But because it's crazy, because as soon as I re-add it, everything works and there's no problem. It's just spending that first 5 minutes of the countdown, and during the countdown, I'm just trying to make sure that any last minute things are good and stuff like that, not having to worry about redoing
Disputing something that shouldn't be disputed.
Exactly. Yeah, especially about the sexual activity. I mean, hell, part of me is like, I wish, but yeah, some sexual activity happening on me. Okay.
And then I see some posts from other people. They just get away with absolute murder. I'm like, how did this screen? How did this not screen? So,
yeah. Oh my gosh! Now, ain't that the truth? That is so true. So, again, sorry everybody, but thank y'all for tuning in. We are winding down the 2025-26 NFL season. It has been absolutely wonderful. We spent this last week basically teams are making their way to Santa Clara, California for the 60th Super Bowl between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Rand, I didn't think at the beginning of the year that I would be uttering those words, but nevertheless, here we are.
Here we are. Before we get too deep into football, let me just talk about something. Since the football season is almost over with, what's the hottest team in the NBA right now, Brian?
That's gonna be them now 7th in a row winning Charlotte Hornets.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
Buzz City is buzzing around here.
Buzzing around here.
Yeah, they might have to snow every day. Buzz City doing their thing. I kind of figured you were gonna go there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's absolutely crazy. In some of these games, they've been like not just winning, but just like beating the brakes off people. So
yeah, I'm a long-suffering Hornets fan, so this has been some good games.
Yeah, they were really down to the Pelicans today too, and they found a way to kind of come back and win that one too. So, um, absolutely unbelievable what they're doing, turning that team around and getting closer and closer to being at 500. I believe now, what they're 6 games away from 500.
23 and 28.
Yeah, they're right there at the cusp. So, congratulations to them. I hopes that success starts bleeding over to my Tar Heels, who are playing NC State right now as we speak.
Oh, really? I didn't know they were on. I'm gonna have to
They're
watch that.
It is 4-2 right now. So they just
Nice,
started. They just started.
nice. Might have to try
Yeah.
to find that one.
Yeah, so they're playing, and then it's February, so it's that time for the two games that mean the most to Carolina folks. So those will be coming up sooner than we think. So we
Can't
got
wait to
that
get
on
some
we got
breaks off
that
of it.
and we got that on the horizon, which means we're really about a month and a week away from March Madness. When you look at it that way. So March
And
Madness
that's also same time as free agency. So
free agency is, I believe, the 10th of March or somewhere around that. The crazy thing is the NFL, while there's really 6 months of playing, it's a good 9 months of activity. The
yeah.
real lull is really that June through this first 2 weeks of August, if you want to call the first 2 weeks of August dead, because then you start having a Hall of Fame game and stuff like that. But that ain't real football anymore. That's really going to start to change, I think. But this is the time during the year too, Ram, where the league have their league meetings and they start discussing rules that they're going to implement going into 2025. And I know one of the things, Rand, that they were really, really wanting to look at is the dynamic kickoff, and the fact that they came up with this to for safety, but to try to inspire more running out of the end zone. So it wouldn't just be a whole bunch of touchbacks. Touchbacks had gotten to be, so high, and people didn't take as many chances coming out of the end zone because they could just get a touchback and start, at the 20, 25-yard line. Now dynamic kickoff. If you kick it into the end zone straight, I believe they get to start at the 35. And now teams are questioning, is that a really, really good idea? Because, team starts at the 35-yard line. Uh, Now, if there's any penalties like blocking the backs or anything like that, now it pushes them even further up closer to the 50. And then and even without those, Rand, it takes only a couple of plays. And before you know it, with the way these kickers are now kicking damn 60 yards consistently, a lot of them, you can be in field goal range after one or two good chunk plays
Yeah.
and and win the game like that.
And that's what the league wants. They want more offense, and they're getting it because you're absolutely right with that. You start at the 35-yard line, and all it takes is one explosive play, and all of a sudden you're in range for points. And points makes Vegas happy and makes the NFL happy. So
Oh yeah, especially when you saw a lot of these point spreads ran. You saw a lot of 2.5, 3.5 spreads and things like that, because they know all it takes is a kicker to sit there and you know as long as the team knows how to do good clock management, the quarterback knows how to either throw to the sidelines to preserve the clock, or if they do throw it down the middle of the field, rushing everybody to the line and spiking the ball. All that kind of stuff comes now into 2-minute drills that these teams run. So before you know it, they start at 35. All they got to do is get it down to the damn 45-yard line, and you're talking about a 62-yard field goal.
yeah, man, the league has really, really changed over the years. And perfect example of that, when I first started watching football, as a young kid, I'll take you guys all the way back to 1981 and the catch made by
Mm,
Clark,
hmm
thrown by Montana. Montana to Clark beats the Cowboys in the NFC Championship back then. So just a little bit about that game. Everybody knows that catch. Montana rolls out to the right, last minute throws to the very back of the end zone. Clark goes up and grabs it. San Francisco goes up 28-27. And back then, there was 2 minutes left in that game still. 2 minutes. And people were like, oh man, it's pretty much over. All San Fran has to do is just hold on. It's pretty much over. Nowadays, fast forward all the way up to nowadays, 2 minutes on the clock is an absolute eternity.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
an eternity. Yeah.
Yes. Hell, at some teams, 13 seconds is an eternity.
All you need. All you need. That's all you need. So this shows how the game has really changed, man.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
That's so true. I mean, now with the timeouts, the way the clock stops, even things now too, Rand, that'll hurt you though in those 2 minutes is that if that clock is moving and your team commits a penalty, there's a 10-second runoff or you got to take a timeout. So that comes into things too, where you got to look at that. You got to make sure everybody's set. If you have more than one guy motion at a time, then both have to come set and sit there for at least a second before it starts. So there's a whole lot more nuances and things. There's silent counts. There's hard counts to try to make the defense jump and basically end up with neutral zone infractions and things like that. So many things can really go into that now. But you're absolutely right, man. It's all about the scoring and things like that. Vegas definitely loves it because they play these games so close. I don't know how they get it so right, but they. And you know what? If you're out there and say, I know how to get it right, I don't believe it. There's still too many other pieces that would have to make everything would have to fall into place for me to believe that would happen. And that's a heavy bit of coordination that I ain't never seen nowhere else. So,
No.
I've seen New Edition on the stage perform and be very coordinated, and they couldn't be that coordinated to make all that happen. So, no rig theories, please. Thank you very much.
Please. I would really like to know where they're holding these rig practices at. Nobody knows about.
Now, the way some of these refs are calling games, if somebody said, "Hey, they being paid to influence a game," hey,
I'll buy that.
I might buy that one. I don't think any teams go in saying, I just got $50,000 to sit there and drop some balls and stuff like that. But I definitely believe that. I don't believe that. But if somebody said, hey, it looked like them refs were really playing it one-sided today or something like that, or, hey, the guy came to the ground with the ball in his hands, and this time, every game this past weekend, it was a catch, but this one game, it wasn't a catch. Okay, I'll buy that.
That referee crew from Super Bowl 50 that screwed the Panthers out of beating the Broncos, I will always believe that crew was paid off. Always.
Because they wanted Peyton Manning to ride off in the sunset. Yeah, it's hard to dispute that, especially when you watch that game, or even when then when you see how the Panthers had to fight just to make the playoffs to begin with that Tampa game. Hell, it felt like some of them shenanigans was happening. I was like, God dang, are y'all serious? Are y'all watching the same game?
Seriously, man.
Good God, I didn't know what was going on in that game.
No.
So yeah, I get it, fans. But the one thing I will say about this season is, these games had to be played on the field because there were so many games that if you would have just held teams up next to each other and gave it the eye test, man, this season would not have probably ended the way that it did. Because there were a lot of teams that lost games that we would have thought they should have won. There were a lot of teams that we thought should have got the brakes beat off of them that won. The Panthers had their part of that too, Rand, where they had some improbable games, whether it was Dallas, Detroit, the Rams. They get up to win those games and then they blow other games that Saints in particular, games that you thought, man, they should have just went in and just, wore them out and just drug them. But they play their best against better teams.
How do you beat the Rams and then come between 3 points in a playoff game to almost beating them again, but get swept by the Saints? Make it make sense.
It didn't. The Saints who ended up finishing last in their own damn division. So, it wasn't like you were playing a team that had any chances of postseason life or anything like that. Had nothing to play for but pride. But they still, okay. Hey Tracy, I don't have your child support. I'm sorry.
What the hell? Brian, you got some secrets you need to tell me about?
These are my confessions. Oh Lord. Oops, wrong live.
Hey, Tracy, you can stick around and talk some football if you want.
You damn right it's the wrong live. You try to get some money off of me for my child support. Shoot, trust and believe I might have some secrets, but can't none of them speak no damn English, and I didn't use my real name. So there's all of that. That's why you go overseas. Everybody think your name is Will. But anyhow, you looking for the wrong dude. I'm gonna start telling them, what's your name? Oh, my name is Randall Hargrove. How you doing?
Hell no. Take another last name.
Oh Lord, but y'all fine though. Y'all like snow bunnies? Oh yeah, we definitely like snow bunnies. Bring your skis on over here. You can get it.
Come on. Come on,
Come on. You walk over, you don't live back. Look, hey, make sure you bring a pen because you do have to sign a waiver. Yeah, I don't play with paralysis or any other medical conditions I may cause inadvertently. But anyway. Oh Lord, YouTube is crazy, man. Ever since I added this different thing to it, it goes and pulls people from all over the place on their mobile phone. So you get some of that. But anyway, I appreciate it. It does help with the view stats. So keep it coming. Oh my gosh. On my way, I just got enough EBT to make it there.
Well, you come on here, we'll get you home.
Right, and definitely bring the EBT because we can do a 2-for-1. I definitely need to. I got a grocery list, so first we shop and then we romance. So those are the rules. I need some peanut butter and jelly and some bread. So it's been snowing a little bit over here, so
big time, man.
We got a whole foot here in Concord, so
got dumped on, man. We were expecting 5 inches, ended up with a foot, like a legitimate foot too. Like you could wipe a foot of snow off a car.
Mm-hmm. No, didn't have to wait for like snow drifts and things like that. We can pop tags at Dollar Tree. Okay. My kind of girl.
I like you, Tracy. You got friends?
Right, yeah. Bring them all. You know who Rudy Ray Moore is, but that's my idol. But anywho, yeah, so Lord have mercy. So a lot of these games though, Rand, just went different directions. It kept it exciting in that standpoint. But if you were playing fantasy football, man, it just made it it just made it hard to be able to be competitive because a lot of times it just didn't pan out. The guy that was going to be the guy in the game just wasn't the guy in a particular game. What's also making it harder too with fantasy football, Rand, is when teams have multi sets, when they're running 21 packages, got 2 running backs in the backfield, or they split time with the running backs and they alternate plays. Well, hell, you don't know which running back going to be the guy. Is it going to be Swift? Is it going to be Monangai? Is it going to sit there and be Montgomery, or is it going to be Jahmyr Gibbs? You just don't know. For a while, even Carolina, was it going to be Chuba that breaks out for an explosive play or a touchdown, or was it going to be Dowdle? It was hard. Hell, I'll give you even a better one for your Steelers. Was it going to be Gainwell or was it going to be Warren? I was
about to say,
good.
Warren is the starter, no doubt. He gets most of the touches, but then on third down, it's Gainwell that's killing you through the air. He actually led the Steelers in receptions, and it was right up there in receiving touchdowns. So when it comes to fantasy, he earned more fantasy points than the actual starter, who was Warren. And it's the same thing they were doing in Detroit. Swift, of course, he did his thing. But then when they got down near the goal line, they take him out, put in the bruiser Montgomery, and he was racking up fantasy points, even
Yes.
though, he's not the one that's getting starter in the yards, he's earning the points. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes it crazy hard with the running back
I was seeing
situation.
that. I was even seeing that in LA, even though Kyron Williams was still the starter. Blake Corum started coming in a lot more. When
That's
you look
right.
at when you look
O-line.
at Seattle, you got Charbonnet, and then you got Kenneth Walker.
And it was also occurring in Atlanta with their big bruising.
Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Yeah,
Yes, yep.
absolutely. So yeah, I mean these two running back sets, and I get why teams are doing this. I applaud that. I think it's a great way to save your running backs' legs. We even saw it to a more minuscule effect with Christian McCaffrey and Brian Robinson Jr., where when you could get Mac to sit out a play or two, he could come in and not be as effective as McCaffrey, but you just never know. But these teams have been doing this, and it was working out. When you saw the Giants, when they had Tracy and Scatterboo out there at
Yeah.
the same time, my God. So that's changing a lot of things when you look at fantasy. Hell, Sean McVay runs 3 tight end sets.
Mhm.
So, you got that going on. Parkinson, Higby, and I can't think of the other one, but those are all pass catching tight ends. Which one gets hot? It's
At least
crazy.
their offense works with 3 tight ends. Shout out to Smith,
Yeah. Well, see, you know what?
former OC for the Pittsburgh
That's
Steelers.
funny.
Thank God.
That's funny that you say that. Yeah, because not too many teams will do a. Well, no, I've seen Kansas City do it too.
Yeah, they
But I've seen the Rams do it with more success than probably
yeah.
anybody else running 3 tight end sets. Those are some really crazy schemes and stuff like that when you've got 3 tight ends and you're using your tight ends, one of them a lot of times as a fullback for your running back.
Yeah.
Because nobody really has a full-time fullback on their team anymore. So now they're reinventing a lot of these tight ends to basically uh, a lot of times what it would be in the passing situations, they'd be more for a chip and release. Now, a
Yeah.
lot of times you're seeing them engage to hold that end off the side and try to seal off the edge and get that running back cutback lane off to the edge a lot of times like a fullback would.
Yeah, that's exactly how the Steelers started using Jonnu Smith down the stretch. I mean, I guess his athleticism has gone to the point where he was no longer winning through the air, so they kind of transferred that skill set into a fullback, and they made him a fullback. Short yards, just situations and 4th and inches. They put Jonnu in there to take the actual snap and go get the 4th down.
Mhm.
Push situation with him. So
Yeah, you
yeah,
saw Mark Andrews doing that a lot for Baltimore instead of getting Lamar necessarily hurt on some of those little tush push situations. They would
yeah,
do direct snaps to Mark Andrews, and more times than not, I mean, he's a big boy. He
yeah,
gonna get that. He gonna get that yard or less. So
yeah.
it was just a funny season to be able to see teams implement a lot more strategies like that from an offensive standpoint. Um, defenses are getting more exotic a lot of times too. Not so much from base schemes and things like that, I noticed, but really from just the kind of players that they draft. Which is something that I really, really want to see Carolina focus on more so with their defense is whether you're playing 4-3-3-4, what you really need are guys that can uh, play the uh, run and the pass.
Especially
Because
up the middle, middle
especially
linebacker. Yes,
you got
big.
to be able to have guys that can read it, and if they need to drop back in coverage, now they can engage in coverage. If they need to run up to the line, they can be able to do that without giving up a whole lot of speed. Why? Because a lot of teams now strategy is that they from the offensive standpoint is the fewer substitutions that we have to do on offense means that we keep that same defense out there.
Yeah,
And if this
exactly.
defense is ready for the run, and now it gives you abilities. You don't huddle, and you just keep going. They can't sit there and substitute. You don't substitute, they can't substitute.
And that's what made Carolina back in the day so dynamic when they were using Davis and Kuechly.
Exactly.
Both of those guys could cover, and both of those guys could stop the run. And it really takes two linebackers in order to swallow up that middle of the field like that with the run and the pass. Because if not, man, you're going to get attacked over the middle of the field and just get killed, as the Panthers were with Boozman pretty much all season long, man. So they desperately, desperately need that middle linebacker over the middle.
Yeah, where you would just be just afraid to throw. It kind of reminds me, and I know he's not a linebacker, but when you see somebody like a Surtain out there for Denver, you just say, oh, we're gonna look on the other side of the field. I mean, he literally just removes a piece of the field away from you. And I saw, New England kept testing them, and it didn't work out too good. And trust me, if the weather had been even better, it probably would have went worse for them.
Yeah, the Patriots actually got one of those dudes too. You don't throw at Christian Gonzalez either.
He'll make yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he ain't no bum either. That is right.
No.
So you're seeing this athleticism on the edges on the defense and in the middle can make your defense very dangerous. But you need to be able to have guys that can play 3 downs a lot of times, because if they don't substitute, you need those guys to be out there and can play, whether it's the run or the pass. So I know back in the day they thought that what's my man's name that they tried to make a hybrid player.
Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got his face in my mind too.
What positions?
He was doing safety and corner, wasn't he? No, they were moving him around so much. What did they bring him? It's gonna come to me. He was on team a couple of years ago, and now he's been moving around. Oh, his name keep coming up to my mind. He went to Washington
University.
Chin.
Oh, Jeremy Chin. Yeah.
There you go. I knew it was something. Yeah, Jeremy Chin. So, he was supposed to be the Swiss Army knife guy. You put him all over the field and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, we got that going on, Rand. We've got, like you said, the free agency period. We'll get the non-tampering period, then we'll get free agency full blown. That'll all lead up to the draft. We'll get to see who's very active in free agency. We'll see who's active in the draft. All of the head coaching positions, except for the Raiders, have been filled. And that's only because it's expected that after the Super Bowl, Clint Kubiak for the Seahawks will be announced as the head coach. Can't formalize anything because their season has not ended yet.
I cannot believe Sean McDermott is still out there. That is shocking to me.
Yeah, and unless there's a firing, you will not see Sean McDermott as a head coach.
Exactly. I would have bet money that somebody would have just picked him up immediately, but didn't happen. And
you know what was funny? I think on the last show, Buffalo had not filled their position. And, we talked about, well, who are you going to get? Because certainly you're not going to sit there and promote Joe Brady, because that's just Sean McDermott 2.0.
And they certainly did.
Because what happened was the day after the show, they did it. And I just said, ain't that a bitch? Didn't we just say that they ain't going to do this? And they did.
Seems like such a lateral move, even more so lateral than McCarthy and the firing of Tomlin. I mean, it's just lateral moves. And
it was like, if you were going to hire McCarthy, you should have just kept Tomlin.
Exactly.
And I kind of feel that way about Brady. If all you were going to do was just elevate Brady, I mean, what happened? Once Phillip Rivers pulled out, which is his first time doing so. You know what? I'm sorry. It's delayed. I didn't know I was going to say that, but hold on. I got something for that one. Damn. Yeah. And even just get what you got to say about that.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Yes. Sorry.
Brilliance.
So after Phillip Rivers pulled out, wink. Phillip, don't get mad. I'm not saying that you always pull out, but he pulled out of that, and I guess they just felt like, okay, well, we just got to take, Joe Brady. I mean, I don't know. That just didn't make any sense to me. some of these hires made me scratch my head, to be honest with you, for these head coaches.
Yeah, big time.
I did see Raheem Morris ended up becoming defensive coordinator of the 49ers after Robert Saleh became
Excellent pickup. Excellent pickup for them. Excellent, job for him.
Oh God, yes. Oh yes. I see that like another Brian Flores situation where you got a
Mhm.
guy that's got head coaching experience, can manage that defense, is very aggressive on defense, kind of like how D'Amico Ryans is aggressive with his defense down in Houston. So and that 49ers defense, and their DNA has always been physical and nasty.
Yeah.
So when they play that way, that's going to be a hard team to beat. And
Sure will.
Cowboys, they love slapping y'all around. So I don't know what to tell you. If y'all come in any games against San Fran soft, I think Raheem Morris gonna make y'all really pay for that. Just tell them
Yeah.
that.
Dallas got a big problem right in their own division. Big Blue is back. We talked about that
Big
last
Blue
week.
is back.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, since Todd Moykin decided to become the next victim in Cleveland instead of going to the Giants, God almighty, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen now because uh, what I'm hearing in Cleveland is it's going to be, quarterback competition with Deshaun Watson coming back.
Oh my God, man. They just can't figure themselves out.
I mean, and I'm like, so they had to explain this to Moinkin during the interview, right? Like, hey, not only will Deshaun be able to, work out a little tension for you, but he's also going to be in OTA. So, if you look, I know it looks odd that there's a massage table on the sidelines, but that's what he needs. So you coach him between massages on the sideline, see what he can do. I want to see if Deshaun Watson can throw a pass further than 5 yards. 'Cause
I'm gonna
last
guess
time I
no.
saw him, he couldn't.
No. I think he's finished.
I do too.
I don't see no bounce back in this dude. So yeah.
Yeah, this is
But
going to
that's
be.
Cleveland's problem,
Do you
not
think
mine.
Cleveland is going to have an open quarterback competition more so between Shador and Gabriel, or do you figure one of them not to be on the roster when that team opens up their season next year?
I'm figuring they'll keep both of them since they're draft picks and really not losing anything. So
That's true.
what the hell. But
Yeah, but they're going to have a crowded quarterback room if they decide with the multiple amount of picks that they have to go back into the draft and reach for another quarterback, or do you try to develop the ones that you have, maybe bring in a veteran Joe Flacco-ish just in case you need somebody there to steady the ship, or in case they both get injured?
man, I think they gotta try to develop either Shador or Dylan. I mean, it's like if they go into the draft and get another quarterback at this point, I'm gonna be asking, what is this a professional organization if they do something like that? Because it's like, come on, what are you doing?
That's true. Well, because if you do it with a high pick,
yeah,
a
that's
high round pick, first, second, third, to me, you're signaling that you don't have a quarterback on your team that you feel is capable
right.
to start, at least, maybe to
You're gonna
back up.
decide that after 1 year. It's just I don't know.
But I think they're going to really need to develop them both. If not for the fact that if one goes down, your number two needs to be capable of. Maybe they're not the reason that you win, but they cannot be the reason that you lose. You can't put them in the game and then they lose the game for you, or put your defense in a situation where they have to sit there and do superhuman things just to get you to win.
Yeah, they got to develop these guys because whatever decision they go as far as who's going to be the starter long term, whatever decision they're going to make, then they got to hope to have some good enough tape to trade the other guy for something valuable, much more than a pick. Because at this point, that's pretty much all you're going to get for Shador or Dylan. I mean, Shador, as talented as he is in my brain, at the end of the day, he was a 5th rounder. So
Right. Yeah, you're not going to get a lot for each one of them, but at the same time, their value right now may be the best you're going to get if they don't develop. And because you got a lot of draft picks, how much draft equity do you really need for one of them? You find a team that really is desperate for a quarterback or a backup or something like that. Even though I wouldn't really use either one of them for a backup because I just don't think they're developed enough to be a backup. But I really want to see what Moykin can get out of them. We know what his history was before this year with Lamar Jackson. Certainly, he doesn't have a Lamar, but it does give us a chance to be able to see. I'm being real hesitant with a lot of these people that call these coaches quarterback whisperers, because that's what we heard about Matt Rule. That's what we heard about Frank Reich. And damn it, I don't need y'all whispering to some of these dudes. I need y'all flat out take a bullhorn and yell at these some bitches because there ain't no way in the world you need to whisper.
You need to tell them something.
Yeah,
Stop all that whispering.
Stop all that whispering. We need to be able to hear it. Because whatever you whispering a lot of times, they ain't hearing it.
They ain't hearing it.
So yeah, these quarterback whisperers. Now, proven quarterback whisperers to me would be folks like Kyle Shanahan. That don't matter who the quarterback is. Don't matter if it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones. He can get the same thing out of all of them.
Yeah. Pretty much that's why you got San Francisco. They got this dude kidnapped and chained and bound and taped.
Oh yeah, they just extended they extended Shanahan back, but they also now just out in LA extended Sean McVay. Same kind of thing because he's in the GM. So you got that going on over there. So a lot of good stuff happening. Brand, we've got the NFL honors that's coming up on Thursday. 9:00. We've got some the finalists have been announced. We've got the most valuable player in the 5 finalists. This is going to be hard for a couple of these categories. You got Josh Allen, Sunshine, Drake May, Matthew Stafford, and then somebody that constantly shows up on this list as a non-quarterback, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. To me, man, I just don't see how it could be anybody other than Drake May. This dude has just completely turned the Patriots' outlook from. I mean, what was their record last year?
Wasn't it 3-14?
3-14 to 14-3 in one season, or something crazy like that. So
yeah, no, you're right.
And to me, a lot of that is Drake May, because in my eyes, they still don't have a bona fide one wide receiver. And really don't have a runner as far as a running back. They do have a good defense, but I'm just saying Drake May has just completely elevated the outlook of that whole daggone team. So he would be my vote for sure.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I loved what Drake May did, especially being a hometown boy here. The only person that I could give it to over Drake May is Matthew Stafford. Because Stafford came into the season questionable in a lot of minds because he didn't have a lot of preseason work with anybody because of his back issues. Older quarterback. We've seen what happens with a lot of these older quarterbacks overnight, a la Aaron Rodgers, a la Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers. You've seen what happens when these guys get over 36 years old. He's 37.
It's just, that could happen. It's weird how that happens.
Yeah. It's like
Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins' start to this past year was not bad. And he just absolutely tanked and fell off of a train.
Yeah. So yeah, you see it, and not saying that that's not inevitable for Stafford, but he's not a mobile quarterback. He's got to be able to do it with that cannon. And yes, when you got one of the most dynamic receivers on your team, he will make your stats blow up and look good. But damn it, you got to be able to get that ball down there to him. And if you look at a lot of his passes, Puka didn't have to sit there and turn back and reach for him or anything like that. There were so many times he put it right in his basket. The short yard touchdowns relationship that he had with Devontae Adams in the red zone where he would score. Um, just his leadership, just all of those things. To me, he's what Drake May is going to probably end up being. Is like me looking at Drake May, aside from the running part, because Drake May can actually move. By the time his career is all said and done, so it's
Yeah.
almost like I'm looking and going, okay, before and after. But and really more so because the way Drake can lead his team, they rally around this guy. He's a young guy. It's a great story taking the Patriots back to what they were. But the only reason that I'm going to give it to Drake May is because I think at the end of the day, who are you more surprised that went to the championship game? The LA Rams
Exactly.
or the New England Patriots?
Yeah, it's not even close. I had the Rams.
They were not on my bingo card at all.
Yeah, I had the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. They ended up a game short, but
Yeah.
Patriots, I did not even have making the playoffs. So,
well, it was funny because I ended up having them making the playoffs, but a lot of people sat there and said, "Well, Brian, they had one of the weakest schedules, so they were stacking wins early." Well, you got to play who's on your schedule, and as we saw in this season, sometimes the ones that look like a W on paper didn't end up a W at the end of the game. So they still had to go out and play these games, and they learned how to play games where they beat the brakes off of people, but they also learned how to play games that, hey, they didn't score 20 points in the game and still had to figure out a way to win. So to me, they had to learn how to play pretty and ugly.
yeah, that's why I really hate when the schedule comes out. And I know people do this and talk about this because basically when it comes out, there's nothing else to talk about, right?
Right.
Of course I know that. But when the schedules come out, people go up and down the schedule and try to do the win-loss thing. You can't.
You can't.
You can't do that. You can't. You just can't.
Because if you did, again, when you talk about the other side of the coin, who thought that Sam Darnold being unceremoniously not fought for by Minnesota would then go to the next team and do the same damn thing he did in Minnesota?
Crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm be honest with you. I don't know how close it was, but not for nothing. I don't know how Sam Darnold didn't get on this list over Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. What business is Sunshine doing on this list? I mean, Sunshine had a good season. It's about time, granted.
Right.
MVP, come on.
Now, he's on another list that we're going to talk about in a second. He's been nominated for more than one. But if I had to pick between Sam Darnold and Trevor Lawrence, I mean, there's no hesitation.
There's no hesitation either with me.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll tell you about Sam Darnold that he even did better this year in Seattle than he did in Minnesota is down the stretch in Minnesota, it seemed like he started to get into his own head and revert back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't do that this year.
Nah, he has taken that lesson and learned from it. I'm assuming it was very embarrassing what happened to him in Minnesota last year.
Yeah, it looked like
those yards and
last
touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, when the big championship game, not championship, but this playoff game comes, as big as high pressure situation as it was for him at that time, most high pressure game he's ever played in his career, he completely saw ghost again and fell flat.
He did.
But
he did.
He took that lesson and granted, he moved forward, and I guess it's in his head now. I'm not letting that happen again. At least that's what his play looks like, because he's been phenomenal in the playoffs so far.
Man, I saw some throws he was throwing that last game. I was just like, Darnold?
I know.
Jesus. So, man, yeah. I mean, now, if he wins Super Bowl, is the bus tag is gone?
Bus tag is gone. It's gone for me already. It really is.
Me too. Because to me, I don't even think you could be an MVP candidate and be considered a bust. And to me, whether he's on this list or not, I don't know if he was in the top 10, which he should have been. But even in the top 5, I mean, I don't even know if I could put McCaffrey above Darnold in that respect. Now, you want to start talking about offensive player of the year. Of course, McCaffrey is always going to be in that conversation. But MVP, he was the most used player because Purdy act like what nobody else on that damn field, whether he was in the backfield or if he lined up in the slot, he always looked for McCaffrey. Okay. Most overutilized player, Christian McCaffrey by far plays 95% of the snaps. Yes. Agreed. MVP? No. Sam Darnold? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, yeah, I agree with you with Drake May, but if they gave it to Matthew Stafford, wouldn't be mad, wouldn't be surprised.
Can't be mad at that either, man. I mean, he's number 2 for me all day long. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's one that's going to be kind of crazy because they got some explaining to do about this one. Defensive Player of the Year. Will Anderson Jr. had a good year. Houston defense wasn't no joke. Nick Bonito, linebacker, Denver Broncos. Hellacious defense there. Myles Garrett, Cleveland Browns. Just broke the record for sacks. Aiden Hutchinson, Detroit. Comes back, has a great full season. But defense just, still has way too many holes. And then Micah Parsons, Green Bay Packers.
Parsons? That's that last one's a little bit curious to me, but
he been hurt.
Exactly. I don't
How he get on this list?
Yeah, for real though. For real.
How? They got that, man. They got I mean, Micah Parsons or Max Crosby.
Crosby. I mean, come on. It's
availability.
Certain, we're certain. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there's so
how
many
did
other
Micah
people
get on this list and he was hurt, and you got Crosby, you got Surtain. Hell, you got some Jalen Carter. My God, what happened?
That's strange. That is really
Brian
strange.
Burns.
Yeah, for real. There's so many other people that could have been on this list other than Michael.
I mean, if you're gonna put hurt players on there, put Fred Warner on there. Damn.
Yeah.
Man, I saw this list. I'm like, come on. I love Micah. I really do. But that is just crazy that he is a finalist. I ain't saying that he shouldn't have got a couple of, little throw in, ballots and stuff like that. But to be a finalist?
Yeah, that's way strong.
What, he missed like the last 6-7 games?
Yeah, man. It's like you're almost talking, a good third of the season. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, Jared Verse.
Yeah.
What?
To me, he does not belong on this list.
Nobody from Seattle?
Right.
Jesus. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. But regardless, I love Aiden. No. Micah? No, not to me. Now you got Will Anderson, Nick Bonito, and Myles Garrett. Now, people are going to say Myles Garrett. Brian, why are you even debating it's going to be Myles Garrett? He broke the sack record. He did. Are sacks overrated when you still lose? Now, you lose as a team, and these are individual awards. But when you're thinking about a defensive player of the year, a lot of times you think about somebody that is a game changer. He's a game changer in the fact that you have to plan your offense knowing where the hell he is at all times. So I can go back and forth as to why, but I could also give you a case for why not. Because Will Anderson had a lot more to do with the Texans winning games. I would say sometimes the CJ Stroud did.
Dude, I'm 100% with you on this, and not everybody will agree with us. They're gonna say Myles Garrett because he set the record, but to me, I 1000% agree with what you're thinking, because to me, Garrett is a guy that had a whole lot of sacks, but didn't really produce a whole lot of impact.
Right.
Now you're looking at Will Anderson. His impact was felt a lot more than the impact of Garrett in a bunch of sacks. And I know it sounds like, me as a Steeler fan is just hating on the Brownies, But I mean, I just don't remember Myles Garrett, even with all those sacks, like changing the scope of a game in any of those. So
It just helped his stats, but in
yeah,
no way did it affect the outcome of anything. It didn't
no,
translate into anything other than his stats. And
right.
he'll have that record until somebody breaks it. If somebody breaks it, he'll have that. He's got that locked in, but it didn't affect the outcome. He wasn't that multiplier on the field. That's not his fault because he needed somebody on the other side to be able to,
Yeah.
he got double, for him to get that many sacks and go through double teams and triple teams says a lot about how hell he is.
Hmm.
Hell, we said that about Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
You can't just play him one-on-one. I mean, that's a death sentence. So you got to figure out multiple combinations to be able to slow him down, stop him. He got more moves. Oh my gosh, yeah, he gonna get you.
Yeah.
And I get that. And you got an extra game this now in the last couple of seasons with 17 games. So he maximized the games he had to be able to put himself in a position to break the record.
Yeah.
But when I look at what Will Anderson did, man, as far as that defense, that they drinking at D'Amico Ryan's Kool-Aid, that a lot of times when the quarterback wasn't hitting on nothing and they put that, D'Amico did not mind putting that defense back out there to go and get the ball.
Yeah, man. It's like I got a perfect example. Like Myles Garrett, he didn't get hurt or anything like that this season. But I don't know when I'm trying to think of a situation or maybe looking back to last season when there were games that Miles was not out there. It's like Cleveland loses anyway. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
like the Steelers. Okay, Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
You remove TJ Watt off the Steelers defense, and that is an entirely different defense.
Totally different.
Maybe not so much this year, but past seasons. He's literally the quarterback of the defense. So in situations where he went down, the defense stopped clicking. You put him right back out there, and that's a top-notch defense all over again. And to me, that's an impactful player that's should be nominated for a defensive player of the year award. But that's just how I see it.
Yep, I agree with you. That's interesting. How we think about that. So that is 100%. Now we got our offensive player of the year. Some familiar names at the top. You got Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua. Puka had a hell of a year. Bijan Robinson. Bijan had a hell of a year. Oh my God. He became the guy that I scratched my head and said, you drafted him where as a running back? Wasn't he like 6th or 8th or something? He was in the top 10.
Yeah.
And I was just like, for a running back?
Yeah.
Shh. Man, he lined up as running back, receiver, talking about he was basically Christian McCaffrey of the Falcons.
That dude is hard to tackle, man.
And yeah, but from a size standpoint, a little bit different than C-Mac in the fact that you have to really wrap this dude up.
Yeah.
And then you got a dude that I think because of Metcalf and Lockett, you didn't see him coming. But JSN put the league on notice.
Yeah, it's got to be, JSN or Puka. It's got to be one of those guys.
Agreed.
Both of those dudes were absolutely uncoverable, unstoppable all season long.
And some of the catches that, like I said, that I've seen Puka do, and they do the same thing with JSN. They don't just line him up straight in a formation. They will put him in the backfield. They'll put him in motion. He'll run reverse plays. They realize that the best way to keep Puka engaged is put the ball in his hands no matter how you got to do it. Because the more times you do it, the more times you'll start finding him in the middle of soft coverages and things like that. And not only is he able to damn near catch everything that comes his way, but it's the yards after catch that he can get when it's like, okay, they get him for a 6-yard catch, and then he go another 10 yards, like because he breaks tackles and stuff like that.
Super physical. Yes.
Oh my God, he is a physical dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I
He
like
reminds
them
me
both.
of,
I like them both.
Yeah, he reminds me of the Chiefs Kelsey back when he was in his prime. You know,
Mhm.
you might stick with him one-on-one, but throw him the ball anyway because you're still gonna lose that
He's still gonna
battle
get it.
most of the
Yeah,
time.
he's gonna go up and get it.
Yeah, he gonna go up and get it, man. So
And oh my God, I've seen Puka catch so many balls with one hand, falling on his back, catching
wow,
the
we
ball with
uncovered,
one hand, bracing himself with the other, and the ball don't move.
and the defender is right there.
The
So
defender's on him. Like
yeah,
couldn't play the defense any better.
yep,
When I see Puka and JSN catch balls, a lot of times they're contested where you're like, how did he get it when the defense was that good on him?
yeah.
Man, I don't know. Now, I guess I'm gonna give my nod to Puka, even though I could give it to JSN. I ain't gonna be mad if either one of them win. I'm gonna be a little bit madder if the other three do. Now, if Bijan get it, I can't really be that mad either because Bijan did some things. Now you gotta remember too, these are regular season awards. So I can't fault Bijan for not getting to the playoffs. Because this is a more offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
But I think he put Atlanta in a whole lot of games by doing the things that he did. There was a lot of times when quarterback just wasn't clicking with Kyle Pitts, Mooney, what's my man's name? Drake London, and all of them a lot of times. So Bijan would be the leading receiver. Bijan would be that power back, even though Algier be back there a lot of times too. A lot of times they run two back sets, and then Bijan would split out into as a receiver. So that made them a whole lot more dynamic. I'm interested to see what Stefanski is going to be able to do there. I would have picked a different head coach for that situation because I feel like he gonna put the Falcons back about 5 years.
Yeah, I feel the same. I don't. It's another head scratching head coaching decision, man.
I mean, a team that could have been one to look out for the next couple of years to come. Man, he gonna make them Cleveland South, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they gonna be the Brownies of the NFC South, bro.
And I don't have a problem with it. As a
I mean, New Orleans just became number 3 by default.
Facts.
That's crazy. Damn. Anyway.
I just see that dude just causing internal problems, man.
Me too. Me too. Oh, I'm gonna start Kirk Cousins.
Right. A move like that.
Hey,
right off the bat, yes.
Michael Penix's gonna be the emergency quarterback.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna get no snaps with the first team or second team. No snaps.
Pick up Joe Flacco in free agency or some craziness like that.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hell, he might call Cleveland and say, "Can I get Dylan?" let him start over the black guy. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? But yeah. I can see it.
Atlanta will burn down.
Oh, you know they will now.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a mess. All right. Let's look at offensive rookie of the year. Now I know we're gonna be some homers on this one, but it's gonna be
all right. I don't even want to hear nobody else.
Yeah. And some good ones on here now. Jackson Dart. Jackson came along. He didn't play a full season because Russell Wilson, James Winston. There was a time when Jackson got hurt a couple of times. Right. And they played Jameis anyway. He had some head scratching, really bad days where I think he had like a negative something QBR one game. He threw for less than 40 yards in that damn game. Yeah, I think it was less than 20.
Yeah.
I'm being too gracious. So yeah, he had some up and down. Emeka Egbuka for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers definitely came out of the barrel hot. I mean, was just burning it up. A lot of that had to do with the fact that I think either Evans or Godwin were still coming back from injury, and he took clear advantage of being the guy, and him and Baker had some early season chemistry. It kind of seemed like he kind of hit a wall. in the
Yeah.
second half of the season. He was there. He was still somebody that you had to account for, but he wasn't nearly as impressive as he was the first couple of games into the season. Travion Henderson, running back, New England Patriots, really became their go-to back over Ramondre Stevenson.
It took him a while, though. It took him a couple of weeks to figure that one out, too.
Sure did. They kept
It was
going back.
Stevenson to start with.
Yeah, he wasn't the guy at the beginning, and carried that. Tyler Shook, New Orleans Saints quarterback. If he had to play the Carolina Panthers 17 times,
Exactly.
he'd be 17. No, he'd be the
MVP. I'd go ahead and give him the award right now if that was the case. Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, they could not stop this dude. Yes. Was he a lot more mobile than Spencer Rattler? Yes. Was he a lot more accurate than Spencer Rattler? At times. Him and Chris Olave and Vele seemed to have a really, really good relationship and things like that. He took over a bad team, and they didn't really get any better, and that's not the fault of a rookie quarterback. He's learning and everything else. I feel like if he's allowed to develop, he's going to be a pretty decent quarterback. I think they got their guy. And then it comes down to the obvious choice. One King Tetarola McMillan. Mr.
Smooth.
I'm going to dab it up in the playoff game. Tet was definitely the guy. Had broke a record, I think team record for receiving yards, things like that. Had a great season, start to finish. The only thing that made it somewhat up and down was some games where Bryce just could not get the ball out to him. But Tet was a really sure-handed receiver. I always love the way this guy catches because he doesn't use his body to catch the ball. He catches the ball with his hands. He learned real quickly, I can catch the ball like that and continue to run after the catch. I'm really good at being able to do that.
That dude is so graceful, man. I don't know how many times I've seen him just catch a little simple 10-yard pass over the middle, and then all of a sudden 30 yards later, man, it's like
oh yeah, and don't let him get going with a full head of steam because he's not going to be easy to bring down either. He likes to get a little physical too.
Yeah.
So I love that, but I love the fact because of the way he catches, it allows him to start to move up the field faster. He snatches the ball, pulls it in, and goes as opposed to bringing it into his body, having to secure, and then trying to run with it. He's already snatching the ball and going.
He's most of the time full stride too, just he's catching it in stride, and that's what makes him most dangerous. I can't wait to see this dude in year 2 because what I saw in year 1 was like mind-blowing. So yeah.
And he has the ability to run multiple route trees. You can put him on the edge. You can put him in the slot. Him coming across the middle, high pointing balls is a beautiful thing.
He's a true number 1 wide receiver. Thank the Lord for him in Carolina because they really didn't have that. I thought XL was going to be that guy, but XL is playing himself off this roster.
He better be valuable on special teams or they're going to end up having to create a roster spot. And it may force them in the second round to get another receiver.
Oh, they better.
Because if you got Ted, Jalen Coker, and then another high draft receiver out there,
they're going to have to. They're going to have to do that, B. They're going to have to do that. That's what I'm hoping they're doing anyway. I hope they go defensive end or edge in the first round and follow it up with another wide receiver in this very deep wide receiver draft too. They have to get one of these guys because it's just going to make Bryce even that much more better.
Agreed. Get you a guy that can run multiple tree sets and things like that so you can put a lot of these guys out at the same time. I don't want David Moore. I want somebody that's Tet 2.0, Jalen Coker 2.0,
exactly.
Where they can't sit there and try to double Tet because when they did that, then Jalen started to emerge. So now we need somebody else out there that's really going to give it to him.
Yep, let's put Tet on the edge. On the other edge, let's put a number 2 draft pick and let Coker take over the slot in the middle, man. And now you are talking. You are talking some.
And then we can send XL to Dallas to play with Mingo.
and get a number 2 pick overall.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What we got for that? Yeah, keep on doing it, Jera. We love you.
We love you. Getting robbed without a gun.
All right, we got our defensive rookie of the year. We got some names on here. We got Abdul Carter, linebacker for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
We got Nick Imawan, Seattle. Okay. James Pierce Jr., Atlanta Falcons. Carson Schlesinger, Cleveland Browns, and Xavier Watts, Atlanta Falcons. So we got 2 Falcons up on this thing.
Yep, and neither one of them gonna win because I'm going with my boy in Big Blue all day long.
All day, every day.
That mad kid out of Penn State, I do believe. Abdul
Because
Carter
you
was
could
no joke.
see the impact that he was having being a linebacker. You got Abdul Carter, Brian Burns combination, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. They add some more pieces on that defense.
I'm telling you, and they got a high draft pick too.
They do.
Yep.
Which is why I've been trying to calm my New York people down. Like, yo, it's gonna happen. Now, one of them told me at the picnic last August, he looked at me in my face and he said, B, I got a prediction for you, and you're gonna tell me I'm crazy. Now, I could have told him that before he said anything because he is crazy. But he made me think he was certified when he said it. Now, but at the end of the year, I said, you know what? That ain't really that crazy. He told me, B, before 2030, Giants going to the Super Bowl. Now, this is what I said. This is what I said to him. I said, I don't believe that. I said, but if you told me that the Giants were going to the NFC Championship game before 2030, I believe you.
I wouldn't argue it.
But here's the thing, though. But if you can make it to the NFC Championship game, you got a chance to get to the Super Bowl.
That's exactly right. There's only one more win. One more win.
But I just felt like at some point, whoever they were playing in the championship game was going to find a way to whoop their ass and just go on over to the Super Bowl. But with that said, if the reason that they get to the NFC Championship game is that hellacious defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got pieces.
If they end up somehow with the damn number 1 seed and they get a bye and the championship game comes to them.
Yep. They not only have the pieces, they got the coach now. That coach is a culture changer. So I like what they're doing.
I don't think New York is going to be too big for Harbaugh. I think he's going to thrive in it. The players are going to play for him way differently than they play for Dayball or any of the other guys that they had before, as long as they let him get the players that he needs to fit the culture and the type of game that he wants to play. I could literally see them winning the division over the Eagles, Commanders, and of course the Cowboys.
Yeah. I give it 2 years, man. They're going to be
same
there. Big time.
All right. Well, comeback player of the year.
Okay.
This is an interesting list. You've got Stephon Diggs for the Patriots because he had gotten hurt with the Texans while he was rehabbing, ended up signing a deal with the Patriots. Had a decent season. Wasn't, to me, a clear number 1 a lot of times because there was Booty. There was Hunter Henry. There were other guys on the team that he was a player on the team that had moments, but I wouldn't call him the number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson came back. We know he had that horrific injury early in 2024 season, 2024-25. And he played the full season, had a decent year.
Yeah.
Sunshine, comeback player of the year. I guess from him basically being on the trash heap where, they were going to have to play him because they had already extended him. His play didn't warrant him being able to play. But somehow he and Etienne got this team moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey is always going to be a comeback player of the year because more times than not, he's hurt. But he actually had a full season. I don't think he missed a game.
No, I don't think so.
And then you got Dak Prescott for the same reason. Good player, stays hurt all the time, ended up playing a full season, didn't have any kind of hip issues, leg issues, anything like that. Played a full season, had a good season statistically. His production to me is better than anybody on this list outside of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. I don't know. I just can't go with Dak for some reason, man. It's like, he had explosive numbers last year too before getting, what was it, Achilles that took him out? Something like that.
Yeah, I think the last one was his hamstring fell off the bone.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that where it was just a crazy injury and it was detached.
Yeah. I think I'll go Trevor Lawrence here, actually, for him to, not to the degree as a Sam Darnold, but he kind of,
Right.
Reinvented himself and came back from the trash heap, as you were saying.
Well, he took his team to the playoffs.
He did do that, yeah.
We had already crowned Houston to basically go away with that division, or Indy to really give them a run for it, to be accountable 1-2 punch. But really, Jacksonville and the Dolphins were not the Dolphins. Jacksonville and in the AFC South.
You got Jacksonville, Houston,
Indianapolis, and Tennessee. Yeah. So we figured Tennessee and Jacksonville, we just wrote them off. Really, it was going to be a 1-2 race between Houston and Indianapolis. And Indianapolis gave them a run for their money the first 8 games, and then they, imploded. But we still didn't see it being Jacksonville kind of coming out of that dust to say, hey, we here too. So, we gave him a whole lot of the blame. So I guess that's true. Rightfully so. He should get some credit for their resurrection because a lot of it did have to do with him.
Oh, yeah.
So it did. So I agree with you on that one. Here's a big one. We got the coach of the year. This one gonna be hard. You got Liam Cohen, Jacksonville, turning that team around his first year. And you could tell that they really love playing for this dude. That was a good move for them. Ben Johnson, Chicago Bears. I mean, my God, took the horrid Bears from laughing stock to somebody you did not want to see on your damn schedule.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald, Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you come behind Pete Carroll. That kind of looms over a little bit what he was able to do with the Seahawks back in the day. Everybody still talks about the Legion of Boom. You come in there and you put your own imprint on this team.
Also strong.
Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco 49ers. He don't rebuild. He just reloads. Even when you think you need to rebuild. Jesus, I thought they were done. The defense seemingly getting old. Missing Brandon Ayuk all year. Kittle was out for multiple games. Ricky Pearsall was out multiple games.
Didn't even matter.
And all I do is win, 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 win. I'm like, what?
Didn't even matter.
Damn, Kyle.
Yeah, this one is hard.
It's hard. And then even when Brock Purdy goes out with the turf toe, don't matter. I got Mac Jones. Mac who?
Lit it up.
And kept winning. I tell you, this list is hard. And then number 5, Mike Vrabel takes a 3-14 team with a second-year quarterback to the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah. So strike Liam Cohen off this list, and I don't care who wins because they're all deserving. Yeah,
I couldn't be mad at that. I couldn't be mad at none of them.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. But I mean, because what Vrabel did, that's just crazy. A second-year quarterback. What? In the Super Bowl? Took you to 14 wins?
Even what Ben Johnson was doing, man, was
And then Ben
incredible
Johnson
too.
did with Caleb. We didn't know if it was Caleb, if it was just the Chicago curse. He got Caleb playing like the dude that got drafted number 1.
Yeah,
What
he
we
did.
saw in Caleb this year said, "You damn right, I was number 1." And I was like, "Okay, keep playing." That comeback in that one game where he threw it in overtime, where he threw it to DJ Moore in the end zone.
Incredible.
Oh my God!
Incredible.
Oh, this is good, Brent. I can't make a pick on this one.
I can't make a pick on this one either.
I mean, who am I to say? I mean,
The
they
only
didn't make it easy. They got it right on this one.
The only thing I could do with this one is take off Leon Cohen. That's it.
That's it. But the other 4, solid.
Yes.
Solid. So yeah, you got that. Now, the assistant coach of the year ring. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say the first one breaks my heart because I'm gonna say hell no.
Must be Eagles.
It's Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator. Good coordinator. Unfortunately, you didn't really get to see how good the defense was because the offense was so bad it made them look ordinary. You didn't see DeJean. You didn't see Bond. You didn't see a lot of those guys really being able to make impacts because they were on the field too damn much.
Yeah.
I just and it's no knock on Fangio. He is a good coach, but I need to see the impact on the field. You didn't bring me no impact. When I look at Brian Flores, Minnesota, nobody wants to play against a Brian Flores defense. But again, a lot of times your quarterback put you in a position where you had to go out there and be superhuman to try to win a damn game. And I hate that because Flores is a great coach. You got Vance Joseph, defense coordinator of the Broncos.
Okay.
That Vance Joseph defense ain't no joke either.
That was strong. Yeah.
That was strong defense. You got Clint Kubiak, Seahawks offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Them Seahawks scored a whole lot of damn points on people.
They sure did.
Boy, they ran up some points on some people. You got him. And then you got a guy that I'm not surprised of, but I don't know if I can give it to him because they did have a lot of games where they struggled to score. They won, but they struggled to score. And that is Josh McDaniels, Patriots offensive coordinator.
Yeah, this one I would go either Kubiak or Joseph, man.
Same.
Yep.
Oh man, that's funny. We got a lot of the same ones on that. Those are the finalists for NFL honors. Of course, Thursday, 9 p.m. We'll see who actually ends up winning it. All I'm gonna say is if Michael Parsons wins,
it would be that and the NBA draft lottery. You need to investigate both of them.
I'm gonna say, look, if Michael Parsons wins, I'm gonna put a vote in for Shaq Thompson. At least he played his ass off in Buffalo. There's just too many other people I could come up with before Michael Parsons would come off my mouth like that. So that's just crazy. And the AP are the ones that vote for this. So y'all, if you want to know who to blame for these finalists, it is the Associated Press.
Yeah,
right, we gotta get ready to get out of here, but we have saved the best for last. We got a game to be played on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually be in Atlanta filming, which is kind of crazy, but my director friend wants to film it in Atlanta on Super Bowl weekend. So I'm gonna be watching the game on my phone. In between filming. So anyway. But this is gonna be interesting. I don't know how, and the Patriots have a decent defense. I just don't know how they slow down the offense of the Seahawks. I would imagine it's going to be a lot of Kenneth Walker. Charbonnet is out, I believe. It's going to be heavy running and opportunistic throws on that defense. That front four, if they can create a lot of pressure on Drake May, it may make him lose containment a lot and have to run out of there and put a lot on his legs. I would not be surprised if Drake May runs in excess of 40 yards in that game just to be able to give him a chance to win.
Yeah, I got Seattle in this one. The only way I see Seattle losing is if Sam Darnold beats himself.
Starts
And I
throwing to
really
the
hope that does not happen for him. I hope he goes out there and plays well. I'm pulling for the kid. He'll have one hell of a comeback story if he does that. So yeah, that's what I want to see because
Yeah.
I just
I think Drake May's got a longer future ahead of him.
yeah
One that looks
yeah.
to be very promising.
Yeah.
Darnold is that old.
The Patriots raise number 7. So yeah,
That too.
Yeah.
Because then you will never hear the end of it.
God no.
They've been waiting. Now they ain't been like Cowboy fans that every year be like, this our year. But if they end up winning it, you'll be able to shake any damn tree you want to, and 4 or 5 Patriots fans gonna fall out of it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're gonna be back. You know it.
They're gonna have one more than my Steelers, and I just can't deal with that.
Yeah, I'm giving it to the Seahawks too. I for all those reasons I said, I think that it's going to be a lot of running. I don't look forward to I wasn't looking at it to be a high scoring game, but I could see it being a high scoring game.
Just never know.
Yeah. I really could. If they let Darnold get loose, Jackson Smith and Jigma and some of the rest of them boys on that offense start getting loose, I could see it being that way. Because they do put up a lot of points. I've seen the Patriots put up a lot of points too. They've got some guys that can catch the ball. Like I mentioned, whether it's Diggs, whether it's Booty, whether it's Hunter Henry. There's another receiver I'm not thinking of right now. Played for Carolina. Is it Mac Hollins? Hollins played for them? I believe it is.
Talking about Tar Heel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Hollins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've seen him do some stuff out there. So they got some guys that can catch that ball. So I look for it to be like that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give the nod to that defense of the Seahawks a little bit more than that defense of the New England Patriots. So I think it's gonna be a good game, but we don't give it to the Seahawks. Well, we got one more show.
One more show to wrap up the Super Bowl. Start looking at the offseason, what's ahead of us. The NFL does not really sleep because they make sure to keep us engaged with some type of news and all that stuff. It was always, Black Monday when the coaches get fired and who's going to move around and this and that and the third. Now we'll start looking at free agency, the draft, all of that kind of stuff. The draft is going to be in Pittsburgh, is it not? It's going to be in Pittsburgh, my friend, and I might be going. We will see.
That's what's up. And then after that, then it's baseball season for me. Hopefully, Rand, I'm trying to go up to New York. Either in May or June. I got a friend of mine too that I want to take too. Because there's a weekend where they play the Red Sox on a 4-game stand or something like that. I definitely want to get that game.
Give me some advance notice because I will definitely be interested.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna plan this. So we're gonna do all of that. But for you football fans out there, we will see y'all again next week, same time. If you're watching this live or on the replay, we appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all bet responsibly. Don't be betting on all them crazy prop bets about who gonna sing who gonna mess up on the national anthem and all that kind of stuff. Y'all enjoy the game. Be safe out there, and we will see y'all again next week. Peace.